Okay, well, good evening. It's December 16th. This is the Legislative Committee. And I will just do a quick roll call. Shannon McHugh is excused. Myself and Councilmember Caleb Barshil are here. Did you see any corrections needed to last month's minutes? Mike, you are up for a presentation on modification for administrative fees.
Oh, thank you. I'm not really a presentation, more a discussion, I hope. The situation arose out of, well, my interest arose out of a situation with a property my son owns.
Okay.
Now, and there was, so my name is on this deed because I helped him get the lease, the mortgage.
Sure.
And, but I have no investment in it. I have no interactions with tenants, with the property itself. No, I have nothing to do with it, but my name is on it, and so I'm involved. And for, so there are complications here that are a result of personal issues that should not have to be on public record. But there was, let's say, a communication failure, and my son thought he had what he needed in place, didn't do anything about it, wasn't aware of some of the implications, especially the monetary implications, until the fines were issued, and then it was huge. Well, at first we thought it was $4,500 because there was a letter that came that said, if this is not paid by October 31st, this will be assessed to the taxes, and then so they filed an appeal. I asked if they wanted my help. They said, no, we've got it, and they really didn't at all. Before they finished the application, it was a lost cause.
What year are we at?
We're in this year.
It was 2023, right? Because I met
When
with
did
them in
this
the
start?
spring, summer?
'Cause I couldn't find that in your letter.
Good question, Mike, because
It was a full year of admin fees.
was it?
It was a full year of admin fees.
Okay. In any case, there were a couple of issues that, so I was going through all of these previous, videos of previous meetings and stuff, and so after taking endless notes and video clips, it occurred to me that there were a couple of things that were overlooked, I think, forever. Because I recall a very long time ago having heard the same words: we don't want to set a precedent.
Mm-hmm.
And it occurs to me that's actually a bias. And not having a judge and jury that is unbiased is a violation of due process. And that's everyone's constitutional right. So how do you get a fair hearing from a board that is opposed to setting a precedent?
And you're referring to the Public Service Board?
Yes.
Okay.
There was in another video, I did not get the clip, and I can certainly find it.
But you've
There
been
was-
before the Public Service Board?
I'm sorry?
You've been before the Public Service Board, you and your son,
Yes.
and you didn't get any resolve?
Well, initially, their appearance was without me, and they must have been the first up, because I got a call saying, the fine's not 4,500, it's 10,000. And I'm like, hold on a second, and I zipped right over here, the meeting was still going on. And I tried to explain what the situation was, which just didn't go well. One of the board members took issue with my claim that I don't actually own the property because my name's on it. But I was trying to just explain how this all came to pass, and that didn't go well. But there was an actual hearing after that. There was another violation that no determination had been made on yet and was set for the next month. So I showed up with my son there based on information that I had received that wasn't correct, that had been done. And when I called the inspector to confirm it, he said no, he had not been there. So at the beginning of that meeting, first thing I said was that I was wrong, that was actually done, and I was hoping there would be some sort of compassion for people who can't afford
So
this fine.
you're into your second meeting.
Yes.
The first meeting you said didn't go well. You're now into the second meeting and you're not getting any resolve. And this is both at the public service.
Both public service, board public service meetings. Yeah.
And
So,
this, because you've talked to me about this before, so I'm just trying to understand the timeline. And I'll explain the reason why I want to know the timeline is because administrative fees, whether good, bad, legal, not legal, I'm trying to understand in your particular case of what time expired before it actually captured you and your son's attention. And what was the original deficiencies? What was it that was brought to you originally? This is a rental property, if I remember correctly.
yes,
And he lives on one part and he rents out the other part
he had originally. At this point, he was no longer
there.
living
So he's renting both parts out.
there. Right.
Okay. And so what was the original issues? Was it just an annual inspection
it was-
or?
It was every inspection. It was every bit of paperwork that was required, the city said had not been submitted. It turned out there were a couple of things that actually were, but the city hadn't found yet, and later did.
So is that part of the communication failure, that there was some paperwork that was lost on the city's part?
No, the communication, there's some communication issue with my son and I,
Okay,
and that's, that just,
okay, that's understandable. Had the city lost any of the paperwork?
Well, I don't know how to answer that. There was something they said they didn't have, but after requesting a couple of times, it did show up. So they were helpful in continuing to try to find it.
Okay.
But,
So we're in 2024, December, we're at $10,000. Is that what it's still at?
it's slightly lower, because in October, I wanted to have an opportunity to present this to the common council,
Right.
and I didn't want it to go to the county, so I lent my son $1,000 to put down, and we arranged.
Because this is on your taxes, the property taxes now?
No, it's not on the taxes. This was in order to prevent it from going on to the taxes.
But that is the next step.
That would have been, but it is not now.
So are you
Although it would be if he stops.
are you in compliance?
Yes.
And how long have you been in compliance?
That's a good question. Since the last